Hello and welcome to Monday Mindfulness. My name is Ian, and today we're focusing on a mindfulness meditation that can help us to rest. And the aspect of rest, I think, is very valuable. Um, Rest can be a very challenging thing to do genuinely, especially resting the mind. Um, and and it's very easy to get caught up in an attachment or an identification with the things that we do and use that as a way to not um, not actually take time for rest, and we might have expectations about what we want or what we need, and I think there's a great time for connecting with the things that you're really passionate about and investing a whole bunch of energy into them, and go with and reducing rest at times as a thing that we're aware of the risk of, and aware that it's not sustainable to go without rest for long periods, and finding that balance of either having a sweet spot that we can sustain, or sprinting at times and then easing off depending on what's right for you. But I feel that rest in particular is very valuable and often overlooked, and we can use mindfulness to improve the quality of our rest. So the rest of the mind can be scary in a lot of ways if you're addicted to this mind always keeping front and center in the spotlight of attention, or always having that working and trying to keep that attention, keeping that focus of your consciousness. It can be very scary to rest the mind, like leaving a vacuum there where the mind doesn't need to do anything. And if it's in the habit of feeling itself being active and keeping that motion going, you can get a bit of resistance to actually resting. So it can take some practice to actually relearn how to rest. It can take some practice to relearn how to play as well. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing to explore, and I encourage you to be gentle with yourself and practice this in a way that resonates with you, but also a way that's gentle as well, and but also honors your long-term priorities. Because yeah, we might be able to do short bits of practice, or we might be able to ignore rest for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I feel you deserve, uh, you know, as full a life as you're passionate about. There's no right or wrong way to do this, but yes, I encourage you to rest appropriately and consciously. And there's times for not doing that, and there's times for engaging with that. So if it's your time to engage with some rest or to improve your rest, then we have a meditation for you. And I'm going to sit for 5 minutes and run you through this meditation, but you can easily expand this meditation out to 20 minutes, half an hour, even an hour, if you really want to get the mind out of that habit of needing to constantly be on a hamster wheel, be constantly chasing or constantly doing. Allowing space for rest, complete rest, can help to break that pattern. And it's a nice habit to get into, especially if I'm feeling really anxious about diving into something and very attached to it. It's fine to dive into that. It's fine to flow with whatever process is happening at the time. I'm not hurting anybody either way, even though sometimes I might be hurting myself by not resting or over resting. Um, it's a matter of making time for this practice, and making time for that habit to build of being able to be comfortable with rest. Because as we're comfortable with rest, we're also comfortable with allowing a lot of other types of present moment awareness and mindfulness to come into our lives. When I'm graceful enough and comfortable enough to rest, that also means that I'm generally graceful and comfortable enough to embrace the details of something that's been a teacher in my life, or a discomfort, or a passion, or an inspiration. I can sit and be patient with these different things because I'm comfortable with that stillness without needing to be on mind control. So find yourself a position where you're comfortable to sit. We're going to sit for 5 minutes this time, taking a few long, deep breaths. And just allowing the hips to sink into your seat, allowing yourself to rest there, allowing yourself to just have this 5 minutes to do nothing but rest. And that's 5 minutes of genuine rest, not trying to rest, not telling stories about rest, just allowing your body to relax, allowing the mind to be still. We don't need to focus on anything. Just let the mind rest as if you're relaxing a muscle. Relaxed muscles right through the body, all the way from the hips, the feet, all the way to the crown. Letting the mind rest too. If anything comes up, if anything takes your focus, just allow it to pass. Just allow yourself to do nothing for these few minutes, completely without investing energy, without needing to do anything. Just being you. And on the next breath in, tensing some muscles, stretching and tensing the arms as you stretch them wide and let the muscles work. And then completely letting go again, resting. Taking a few deep breaths. No need to rush. Taking your time, allowing space for the details between any movement. Slowly stretching the hands, moving the feet. Giving yourself any stretches, adjustments, movements that the body needs. And slowly coming back into the room in your own time. Now, this practice is a 5 minute snippet of just being able to rest and do nothing. And if your mind wanders and tells stories, that's fine. Um, this is just a practice of making space for you. And with practice, things tend to change and we become more and more comfortable with that letting go and that resting. If the mind wanders, when you realize it, come back to just resting, letting go of needing to invest energy in that. One thing that I do often do with this type of meditation is to do yoga beforehand, maybe some Kundalini yoga even. I often do some sort of breath work or workout beforehand to get that movement and then allow the rest afterwards. So it's kind of keeping that balance of action and inaction. And another thing that I quite enjoy is to do some qigong or some other type of movement beforehand as well. So there's some options, and you've got the example that we've done of 5 minutes, but you can also expand that out to even an hour and several hours on a sliding scale of whatever's right for you. So thank you very much for joining us. I hope your rest goes well. Please let us know if you have any feedback, and lots of love, big hugs, and gratitude to you. And I hope you have a beautiful week.